Hey guys, quick question. Imagine this. You just moved into a cool new apartment in Japan. You want your partner to have a key, so you pop over to a local locksmith and get a spare made in 5 minutes. Easy, right? But then, on move-out day, the landlord goes, "Wait, did you make this copy yourself? That's a breach of contract." And boom, you're hit with extra fees. Seriously, this happens all the time here. Stuff that's fine back home is often a no-go in Japan. So today, I'm breaking down the rules for spare keys so you don't get in trouble. Watch until the end to save yourself some cash and a massive headache. Let's dive in. First, why can't you just make a copy? In many countries, it's your place, so it's your key. But in Japan, the mindset is totally different. Basically, you don't own the key. It's more like a loaned item from the landlord. It's part of the apartment's equipment, so copying it without asking is technically messing with their property. Plus, it's a security thing. If the landlord doesn't know how many keys are out there, it's a huge risk. Imagine if you lost a secret copy and someone found it. Not good, right? It could lead to break-ins, and you might even get sued for damages. So, thinking it's just one key is actually a pretty dangerous move in Japan. So, what if you actually need a spare? Answer is simple. Just ask first to the owner. Check your contract, see what it says about keys, and then call your management company. Just explain why you need a copy, like my partner is moving in, or I need to give one to my family for emergencies. Usually, if it's for family or a good reason, they'll say yes. One thing to keep in mind, in Japan, if someone else is going to live with you, even a partner, you almost always have to report it to the management company first. Many people run into trouble because they don't know this, so please remember it. Here is another important point. Always use the original master key to make a copy. You should never make a copy of a copy. This is because the precision drops, which can make the lock hard to open or even damage the lock cylinder itself. Damaging the lock could lead to expensive repair bills, so be careful. Also, try to keep the number of spare keys to a minimum to avoid the risk of losing them. And of course, when you move out, you must return all the keys, including the ones you made yourself. It's important to remember that you can't just return the originals. To ensure the safety of the next tenant and the landlord, you are required to hand over every single copy that was made. Next, let's talk about what to do if you lose your key. If this happens, the first step is to go to the nearest police box or station and file a lost property report. Japan is a country where lost items often get returned, so this is a very important step. After that, contact your management company immediately. Let them know exactly when and where you think you lost it. Some people prefer to wait a few days to see if it turns up, but I wouldn't recommend that. For security reasons, it's best to act quickly, so please contact them as soon as possible. In most cases, they will need to replace the entire lock cylinder. Unfortunately, this cost usually has to be covered by the tenant. Now, let's look at the costs for making a spare key. A standard jagged key usually costs around 1,000 to 2,000 yen. High-security dimple keys are typically between 3,000 and 5,000 yen. For card keys or electronic locks, it can cost anywhere from 5,000 to over 10,000 yen. Card keys and electronic locks are especially tricky because they often require ordering from the manufacturer or replacing specific parts. Because of this, you often can't get them made quickly at a local locksmith. Finally, let's talk about some real-life problems that actually happen, along with some of the most common questions we get from foreigners moving to Japan. First, let's start with the kinds of issues that can happen if you make a spare key without permission. For example, when you move out, the number of keys may not match, and it can become clear that an extra copy was made without approval. In many cases, the management company keeps a record of exactly how many keys were originally given to you, so this is something they often notice pretty quickly. There's also the risk that a lost spare key could be misused by someone else. If someone ends up using that key to enter the apartment, it could turn into a very serious problem. On top of that, you may be charged repair costs or even asked to pay damages for violating the lease agreement, especially for foreigners who are planning to live in Japan. This is one of those areas where the rules can be very different from your home country. So it's definitely something you want to remember. Now, let me go over a few common questions as well. The most common one is, do I need to return the spare key I made myself when I move out? The answer is yes. As a general rule, you must return it. Not just the original key, but any spare keys you made yourself also need to be returned. This is not only a contractual obligation, but it's also important for the safety of the next tenant and the landlord. If you move out while still keeping a copy, it means a former tenant could still access the apartment, which is a major security risk. One more common question: will I get my key deposit back? In most cases, yes. If you return all the keys listed in your contract, you'll usually get it back. However, if the key has been lost or damaged, the replacement cost may be deducted from the deposit. That's exactly why managing your keys carefully is so important. To summarize, in Japan, you shouldn't make spare keys without permission. If you need one, always talk to your management company first. And if you lose a key, contact the police and your landlord right away. Understanding these rules will help you start your life in Japan with peace of mind. On Moovin, you can search for apartments in Japan from anywhere in the world. We offer support in Japanese, English, Chinese, and Vietnamese. So be sure to check out our official website from the link in the description. If you thought this video was helpful or interesting, please subscribe and hit the like button. Well then, see you in the next video. I'm cheering with all my heart for your happy life in Japan. Bye bye.